Please rise for the processional.
Please be seated. It is my honor as president of the University of North Georgia to welcome you to the Fall 2017 Commencement Ceremony. On behalf of the entire university community, I extend warm and sincere congratulations to each of these fine scholars and welcome their families and their friends. Our hopes and our dreams are with you today. This is a day of celebration for our graduates, but also for our university. As we begin our ceremony, please join me in thanking Dr. Kelly McFadden, Faculty Marshal, and Dr. Joe Chapman for the inspiring processional. I would indeed be remiss if I did not recognize all the mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, children, grandparents, relatives, and friends who stood behind our students and assisted them throughout their college careers. Thank you. Thank you for supporting our students. And students, today is a wonderful day. Here you are, donned in academic regalia, whose design dates back to the Middle Ages and symbolize your achievement and commitment. The right to wear these robes is an honor that must be earned, and indeed you have earned that right. We are here to honor you with the richest tradition in the academic community, a commencement ceremony celebrating the completion of your degree and the beginning of your professional lives. As you know, UNG holds a special designation within the University System of Georgia as a state leadership institution. As such, UNG has a strong reputation for producing civic, professional, and military leaders, and our graduates are known as individuals committed to high personal integrity, civic engagement, community service, and of course, academic excellence. I know that this foundation you have received through UNG will be a catalyst for many future successes. And I know that as graduates of UNG, you will add value and meaning to many of those around you. Again, congratulations on this milestone in your life. Ms. Mackenzie Spivey will now lead us in singing the national anthem. Will you please stand if you are able?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you. It is my honor as Provost to join President Jacobs in welcoming you to today's ceremony. When I reflect on the experience you have had at UNG and your determination to achieve this goal, I'm reminded of the story of Apollo 13. Most of you are too young to remember it, but perhaps you saw the movie a few years ago. Apollo 13 was programmed for 10 days, but suffered a system failure en route. Jim Lovell was commander of the Apollo 13 flight. He and the crew, working closely with ground controllers, conserved the crew's electrical power and water and converted their lunar module into a lifeboat of sorts, allowing them to survive in space and return to Earth. Lovell is credited with saying, "There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happen, and there are people who wonder what happened." To be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen. As a UNG graduate, you have the knowledge and the critical thinking skills to solve challenging problems. You have learned the value of teamwork, perseverance, and leadership. You will make things happen. As the university's chief academic officer, I recognize the important role of our faculty in helping you to identify and develop these skills. I commend our faculty for their commitment to our students' personal and professional development and for their leadership and dedication to their disciplines. Would all the members of the faculty who are here today, including those on the platform, please rise so that we can recognize you. Thank you. Before we continue with the program, please allow me to introduce the remaining members of our platform party. Will you please stand as your name is called? Dr. Billy Wells, Senior Vice President for Leadership and Global Engagement. Dr. Richard Oates, Vice President for the Gainesville campus. Mr. Jeffrey Tanowski, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Carol Adams, Dean of the University College. Dr. Christopher Jesperson, Dean of the College of Arts and Letters. Dr. Susan Ayres, Dean of the College of Education. Colonel Brent Cummings, Professor of Military Science. Ms. Wendy Hughley, Director of Alumni Relations and Annual Giving. Dr. Brian Corrigan, Professor of English and the reader for today's ceremony. Please join me in acknowledging these individuals.
You better say Dr. McMcConnell.
I got him. Thank you very much. I'm going to go off script just a little. Some of you may have noticed that I failed to introduce one of our members on the platform party, a long-standing UNG administrator. This was not a mistake, because I want to take this opportunity to individually introduce you to Mac McConnell, who only yesterday received his doctoral degree in higher education administration from the University of Georgia. Mac, congratulations on this achievement. We're so very proud of you. And we'll carry on with the formalities. Dr. Mac McConnell, Senior Vice President for Business and Finance. Will you please stand and be recognized? It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today's commencement ceremony. Our speaker is well known to many of our students as an outstanding member of the UNG faculty. In fact, she is the 2017 recipient of the UNG Distinguished Professor Award from the UNG Alumni Association. Dr. Donna Giselle is a professor of English, teaching courses in composition, linguistics, pedagogy, and literature, including John Milton and Jane Austen. She earned her PhD in English literature at Case Western Reserve University, where she also earned her master's degree. Her undergraduate degrees, a BS in English education and a BA with honors in the liberal arts comparative literature, were earned cum laude from the Ohio State University. She has taught abroad for UNG at Zhejiang Normal University, China in 2015 and for the cadet program in Tanzania in 2011. Dr. Giselle arrived at UNG in 1995 and in addition to a teaching role, has served as Director of Graduate Studies and External Programs, and then as Executive Director of Regional Engagement. In these positions, she collaborated to expand graduate programs, institutionalize the grants and contracts area, and enlarge the regional service area of UNG. In 2010, she authored the successful Carnegie Foundation classification for community engagement application, making UNG one of the first universities in Georgia to earn that distinction. Teaching full-time since 2013, Dr. Giselle is now part of a research group funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities and is currently working on a book proposal based on teaching the interdisciplinary courses Vision of Peace at East and West. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Donna Giselle.
First of all, graduates, congratulations to you and to your families and loved ones. President Jacobs, Vice Presidents, faculty, staff, graduates, and guests, thank you for this opportunity to address you today. I'm going to talk about the importance of storytelling and community. Both are powerful tools for all of us, and I challenge each of you to use them. Two people who believed in the power of storytelling and community were Doug Paul, who with his wife Sharon founded the family vineyard Three Sisters, and Jim Chestnut, a professor of French here at UNG. Both of them died this year, and I dedicate my speech today in their memory. Storytelling is powerful because if you want someone to remember something, tell them a story about it. As humans, we live for stories. Stories are so powerful that one poet said, "There are no stories, only the need to tell." And I have the need to retell you my story, one that I originally told at Commencement held here in August 2001. Yes, it was the month before 9/11, and I told a story then to emphasize the importance of service. Service is as important now as it was then, perhaps even more so because of how the world has changed since 9/11. However, of even greater importance is how and whom we serve. I am telling this story to emphasize the importance of community. But first, why is community important? I have found the answers in courses that I teach through the responses my students have had to readings. In our course on plague literature, we read Albert Camus' remarkable novel, The Plague. It is the story of how community can fight fascism. After expending much suffering and personal sacrifice in the spot, one of his characters admits that we all carry pestilence, and therefore we need to fight it. Through his service to others and his experience of community, he has learned that the only way to live is through community, what he calls the path of sympathy. Likewise, another author, Johann Gatang, whom we read in the Visions of Peace in East and West course, argues for an infrastructure for peacemaking, including harmony through empathy, again, gained through community. Community is important, but it is knowing that a single individual can make a difference by building community and maintaining it. So here's my story. One of the richest experiences I've ever had was being living in a community as a Peace Corps volunteer. I served in Fiji in the South Pacific for 3 years. My assignment there was to serve as a rural community development volunteer. What that means is I was there to serve my small community, about 250 people. I acted as a catalyst to help them develop their community in ways that they determined. I helped start a kindergarten, create a small library in the area elementary school, and establish a cooperative store. And I helped teach sanitation, nutrition, and health principles. But what my service really means is that in addition to teaching, I learned a lot. I learned in day-to-day activities. I lived in a village named Nangeliwai, which means soily water, not even watery soil. It was that muddy. So I had to learn how to be able to walk around in flip-flops so I wouldn't spot or up mud on my skirt. I learned how to wash clothes in a stream by hand, literally beating them on a rock. I learned how to understand the news announcements of the village town crier as he walked around the early morning fog with wood smoke rising from the breakfast fires. And I learned countless points of etiquette, from how to sit cross-legged for hours and how to accept the gift of food, clapping loudly 3 times. I learned how to harvest sweet-smelling grass with a cane knife so that after the grass sun-dried, I could lay it between the woven mats and the bamboo covering the hard-packed clay floor of my thatched house. I learned how to tell jokes in Fijian and how to collect herbs to make cold remedies. And I learned even how to enjoy showering in a cold water. In the process of learning how to live and work in another culture, I learned to appreciate material comforts, how fortunate we are to have safe drinking water supplies, to have electricity, to have indoor plumbing. I learned just what a convenience refrigeration is, and the first 2 purchases I made when I returned home were a washer and a dryer. In short, I learned who I am. But even more importantly, what I learned was what other people are all about. I learned what a powerful force culture is, and I learned about how individual personalities shapes each of us despite our culture. I learned how people, all so different one from the other, can live together in community. And without a doubt, the biggest lessons I learned were about the power of belonging to a community and serving that community. So today I'm going to limit myself to telling you only one story about Fiji. It's fitting because it is about belonging to the community, just like the ones that you are members of. It's about relishing that community and building that community. As part of language and culture training, Peace Corps places volunteers with families far from the places where volunteers will end up living. That's so that the mistakes that we make won't live with us for the next 2 years. My Fijian family lived on a small farm near the ocean. They owned their land outright, and they fished and farmed coconuts to make a comfortable living. I could tell you a lot of stories about card playing long into the night, and then learning the finer points of Fijian conversation, but being too unsure about being able to say good morning in the morning to get out of bed. Instead, I will tell you about my Fijian father, Kula, serving his community. Every year at New Year's, Kula organizes a huge fish drive. He recruits people from the village to go with him deep into the forest to harvest hundreds of feet of thick vines, as well as 3-foot-long tree branches with leaves. After they collect mounds of materials and carry them to the road, Kula hires a truck from a nearby town, and together they all load and transport everything to the beach. There, groups of people tie the vines together, creating 2 long ropes, each over 1,000 feet long. At intervals of about 5 feet, other groups of people attach to the leafy tree branches with pieces of yet another kind of vine. The resulting ropes are meticulously coiled into 2 huge piles. Meanwhile, other people out in the lagoon between the reef and the shore gather coral rocks into an immense pile. On the day of the fish drive, we all met at the beach. There were almost 150 people, and everyone was in a holiday mood the day before New Year's Day, everyone anticipating the fish drive. In Fiji, it is bad luck to acknowledge a person's going off to fish. So even though that was our reason for being there, no one spoke of it. Instead, the atmosphere was of a huge community picnic. When the tide reached just the right point, without saying more than a few words, Kula directed one team of people off to the left, who formed a chain, pulling the vines interspersed with branches out farther and farther toward the reef in the distance. Another team on the right mirrored the effort, eventually forming a huge circle of people between the shore and the reef, connecting the vine and dangling leaves. Meanwhile, the team I was part of waded out to the pile of coral rocks, and we built the rocks to form a U-shaped corral. As we worked, the two other teams, now one, were moving in toward the center of the circle where we stood. They were holding the vines, and the water around me came alive with the movement of hundreds of fish that were confusedly trapped by the vines and leaves moving in the water. Wordlessly, Kula directed the teams, and the fish were guided into the coral corral. The water boiled with the movement of the fish, and an older man who had been standing with us spread a mixture of herbs on top of the water in the corral. Suddenly, the thrashing of the fish quieted, and the herbs so dulled the fish that even I could catch them with my bare hands and put them into the nets and the containers to haul them back to shore. We roasted and ate some of the fish right there on the shore, and some of the fish were taken to market in the town to pay for the expense of renting the truck. The majority of the fish were divided up among the people who had helped with the fish drive. Everyone in the village had fresh fish for New Year's. And Kula, the man I respected for his card playing, for his lobster spearing, and yes, his ballroom dancing, was the quiet leader of all. He had made possible fish for all of us, as well as earned the gratitude of his community. However, he had accomplished much more than that. Although not who most of us would think of when we think of leader, Kula was someone who truly served others to build and maintain his community by focusing on a single project where everyone could be a part. Of course, you don't have to join the Peace Corps and go 7,000 miles away from home to learn what community is all about. Community can be everywhere. Community can exist at any level, from the very local to the world. Opportunities to serve that community occur at any time, and service comes in many different guises. Today is indeed a commencement, a beginning of new lives. Graduates, you have a choice of how you will live that life. So I challenge each of us here today, not only graduates, but their family members and loved ones, faculty, staff, all of us, to identify ways to build and strengthen our communities. I guarantee that by being active in your community, you will have many, many stories worth retelling, and so will the others whose lives you have so changed. Thank you for listening to my story, and again, congratulations.
Thank you, Donna, for your inspiring message. Among our graduates today are students who have surpassed the academic standards set forth by our faculty, and it's my pleasure to recognise these honour graduates for their commitment and dedication. The names of these students are listed in your program, and they will be recognised individually as they receive their diplomas. Will you please hold your applause until all groups stand? Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.50 and 3.69 on a 4.0 scale. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating magna cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.70 and 3.89 on a 4.0 scale. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating summa cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.90 and 4.0 on a 4.0 scale. Members of our Corps of Cadets, who ranked in the top 20% of more than 5,000 cadets on the National Order of Merit list, will graduate as Distinguished Military Graduates, the highest honour an ROTC student can achieve. Will the Distinguished Military Graduates please stand and remain standing? The UNG Honours Program cultivates a community of engaged scholars who have demonstrated excellence in academic service and leadership. Completion of the Honours Program includes involvement in activities outside the classroom and service to the institution and local community. Will all graduates who are members of the Honours Program please stand? Remain standing. Academic Honour Societies recognise students who have excelled both academically and as leaders among their peers. Will all graduates who are members of university and departmental academic honour societies please stand? Will you please join me in recognising all of these graduates for their accomplishments? Thank you. Please be seated. We will now confer the degrees. Will the graduates for all bachelor's degrees please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the bachelor's degrees. Each of these candidates has completed the requirements of the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. At this time, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for all master's degrees please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the master's degree. These candidates have successfully completed the requirements for the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the education specialist degree please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the education specialist degree. These candidates have successfully completed the requirements for the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the education specialist degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. Congratulations.
Thank you. We will now call forward the graduates to be recognized individually. I invite Dr. Brian Corrigan to take his place to announce the graduates. Mr. Charlie McKinney of our Young Alumni Board will greet you as you leave the stage and welcome you as new alumni of the University of Georgia. Marshals, please lead the graduates forward.
We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from University College. Jessica Charlotte Chambliss. Riley Mila Fields. Morgan Elizabeth Kelly. Brandon Christopher Junk. Samuel John Pruitt. Austin C. Sanders. Brooke Elizabeth Steinhardt. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Education, Emily Ruth Anderson. Carolyn Ann Baldwin, cum laude. Casey Nicole Brandon, cum laude. Second Lieutenant Nathan Hunter Ballou, distinguished military graduate. Second Lieutenant Logan Tyler Brookins. Second Lieutenant Jamie Fitzgerald Dukes. Second Lieutenant Moriah Catherine Edwards. Shannon Lee Erb. Jacob Michael Foster. Taylor Elise Hammond. Jacob Michael Hudson. Ian Caleb McIntosh. Second Lieutenant Jasmine Aaliyah Miles. William Andrew Parton, magna cum laude. Taylor Dane Streifert. Jessica Brennan Steele, summa cum laude. Luke Allen Thayer, cum laude. We now present the Bachelor of Arts degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Megan Bailey. Zachary Lucree Barlow. James Edward Beach. Elijah Dylan Bell. Jonathan Daniel Bell. Virginia Bowen. Elizabeth Delphine Brown. Kiana Brianne Campbell. Second Lieutenant Clay Michael Carlton. Sarah Malone Carnaline. Naomi Maris Chapman, cum laude. Natasha Klein, magna cum laude. Chelsea Nicole Dickerson. Jessie Marie Diamond. Krisha Nicole Dowdy. Selena Isabel Duran. Savannah A. Emmerich. Jonah Ryan Flores, cum laude. Morgan Rebecca Furby. Courtney K. Graff, magna cum laude. Cameron Hayes. Sarah Michelle Hosey, cum laude, honors program. Haley Madison Hubner. Elizabeth Leslie Jeffrey, magna cum laude. Second Lieutenant Wesley Evan Johnson. Hannah Elaine Kelly. Second Lieutenant Bryce Fane Keeper. Peyton Christine King. Peyton O'Brien Kaler. Clarissa Kroger, magna cum laude. Jacob Douglas Madrid, cum laude. Ashley Nicole Manning. Tricky, aren't they? Yes. Adriana? Yes. Kelly Adriana Maradiega. Second Lieutenant Jacob Thomas McAvoy, cum laude, distinguished military graduate. Matthew West McClure. Lee Anna McCook, magna cum laude. Second Lieutenant Michael Alex Norman. Second Lieutenant Kelsey Allison Osborne, magna cum laude. Calvin Navarre Owens. David Allen Phillips. Megan Pritchard, summa cum laude. Deidre Lee Ricketts, magna cum laude. Alexandra Nicole Robbins, cum laude. Molly Marie Rowe. Grayson P. Rule. Taylor John Russell, summa cum laude. Second Lieutenant Landry Rhodes Schaefer, Distinguished Military Graduate. Shannon Kelly Simpson.
You think you could say that? Happy birthday, General Brace.
Matthew Tyler Smith, summa cum laude. Shelby Suzanne Thurman. Haley Todd. Tatum Elizabeth Turner. Taylor Lee Wagnon. Ivy Welch. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Victoria Faye Albritton, cum laude. Ada Frances Allaire. Catherine Bryant Avery, cum laude. Brianne Alexandra Baker. Jordan Elizabeth Ball, summa cum laude. Nicole Caitlin Ball, summa cum laude. Alexandra Nicole Baxter, cum laude. Dylan Adair Beckham. Rachel Nicole Bishop, cum laude. Holly Johanna Bokash. Tyler John Boss. Manon Josephine Boussard. Emily Elizabeth Brown. Austin Blake Burnett. Rebecca Ann Campbell. Sydney Morgan Cardell, magna cum laude. Destiny Boone Coltellaro. Rebecca Barber Connor. Michaela Boyd Crimes, magna cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Dalton. Carly Ann Doe. Second Lieutenant Christopher Brandon Moore Dilly Dilly, cum laude, Distinguished Military Graduate. Hamilton Guy Earl, cum laude. Second Lieutenant Lydia Rachel Ang, magna cum laude, Distinguished Military Graduate. Second Lieutenant Brendan Robert Fowler, Distinguished Military Graduate. Aaron Arthur Friedman, cum laude. Juan Jaro Garces. Sarah Margaret Gilbert. Sayward Wade Gregg. Jamie Michelle Griffin. Amanda Lee Hamilton. Brooke Nicole Hancock. McKaylee Elaine Hay. Tessa Lynn Heron. Cassandra Stevens Heslin, magna cum laude. Jacob Christopher Hightower. Kelly Nicole Housand, magna cum laude. Anna Kate Hughes. Jonathan Marshall Jackson. Sierra Vontae Johnson. Shane Robert Jones. Diana Lynn Knight, cum laude honors program.
Lang. It sounds like Dan, but with an L. Yeah.
Allison Brooke Lang, cum laude. Second Lieutenant Joshua Tyler Lastly, summa cum laude, distinguished military graduate. William Michael London. Ansley Jane Maddox, cum laude. Tasha Talina Marcello. Miranda Faith Martin, summa cum laude. Devin Roger Matthews. Kristen Taylor Moon, cum laude. Elizabeth Josephine Moore, cum laude. Hannah Danielle Nations. Sydney Elizabeth Neese, cum laude. Philip James O'Donnell, magna cum laude. Youngjin Park, cum laude. Christina Parlier. Mariah Elise Patton. Margaret Zane Prescott. Second Lieutenant April Puerto. Lindsay Allison Ramey. Second Lieutenant Caleb Reichard. Amanda Rogers. Meredith Ann Russell, cum laude, honors program. Parnila Rustin, magna cum laude. Hunter Thomas Scruggs. Sarah Grace Seckinger. Keely Brianne Seegers, cum laude. Ryan Nicholas Shadburn. Jeremy David Sharp. Lauren Elizabeth Schoaf, cum laude. Andrew J. Shoemaker. Second Lieutenant Chase Winslow Slocum, distinguished military graduate. Jada Michelle Smith, magna cum laude. Summer Danielle Stubbs. Second Lieutenant Warren Scott Talley. Allison Taylor Tipton. Wendy H. Trin, cum laude. Kelly Elizabeth Tollison. Tila Jasmine Vitello. Gabriella Walden, cum laude. Anna Catherine Walston. Bridget Ann Williams. We now present the Master of Arts degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Daniel Bennett. We now present the Master of Arts in Teaching degree graduates from the College of Education, Marilla Ann Kennel. We now present the Master of Public Administration degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters, Esther Zuniga. We now present the Master of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters, Kim Lori Krinsky. Haley Lewis. We now present the Master of Education degree graduates from the College of Education. Aaron Cody Campbell. Corey Clayson. We now present the Education Specialist in School Leadership degree graduates from the College of Education. Suela Chaudhry. Catherine Crawford. Cheryl L. Daniel. Catherine Sloan Miller. Christine Skogsberg. Michael Vorick.
I commend the most recent graduates of the University of North Georgia. Your hard work and dedication have been rightfully rewarded. I offer my personal congratulations to you for earning the title of graduate from this fine institution and ask that everyone please join me in recognizing this graduating class. Thank you. Graduates, judging from the applause, it's clear that each of you should feel proud of your accomplishments. So at this time, I would like the graduates to join me in a standing round of applause to thank your families, friends, and others that have given you support in the pursuit of your degree. Thank you. Graduates, you are now lifetime members of the UNG community. We are confident that you will make your university proud wherever your journey may lead, and we look forward to hearing of your achievements. I now call on Ms. Wendy Hughley, Director of Alumni Relations, for her congratulatory remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Orman. Graduates, congratulations. You are now officially a member of the University of North Georgia Alumni Association. I ask that you wear that badge and that honor proudly, and it is truly, on behalf of the Board of Directors, my honor to welcome you into the UNG family. If you talk to anyone who has ever graduated from university, I think that they would share that since graduation, they've realized that the true learning has only just begun. It's the day in and day out grind of life that really tests you and determines who you are once you leave here. Further, I think that they would share that the hard work and the effort that they put into their coursework was certainly critical to their success. Perhaps, though, I think the most important thing that they would tell you, the most important lesson that they learned, was that it was the relationships they formed along this journey as they managed their time through school that also impacted their success. And in some cases, more than their own efforts. I want you to do 3 things. First, before you leave here right now, I want you to take one last moment to look around and think about those people that you've met that are also graduating today. Look at your friends, your classmates. Those people are that study group that you met through the process, those late nights that you shared. Think about these faculty members on the front row and second row who've made a tremendous impact on your interest in a subject. Not only have they been vested in you and they believed in you, I would go so far to say they love you and they're here for you and that you are the reason that they are here. Think about how these people have impacted your life. Whether directly or indirectly, you know who they are. So in addition to celebrating your degree, I want you to celebrate the relationships that have accompanied this journey. Don't forget them. These relationships, no matter the distance, will stay with you forever, and on certain days may continue to be all that you need to get through to the next day. Second, I want to encourage you to stay involved as alumni. Stay in touch with the University of North Georgia through social media, the UNG alumni website. Consider becoming an active part of the Young Alumni Board or the Alumni Association. Participate in a shared interest group. These groups offer a great way to stay connected with your classmates and your faculty, staff, to meet other alumni, and they're a great way to just give back a little bit of your time. Finally, and most important, I want you to be proud of your alma mater. As with all alumni, you will see changes over the years. Buildings will change, programs will change, faculty will come and go. Some traditions will be lost and others will be born. You, in fact, are one of the last graduating classes in this building. One day, you will come back and you'll look around and you'll say, man, this place has really, really changed. Some things will change, and they're going to change again, or they have changed and they will change again. But I want to stress that the essence of the University of North Georgia, even the North Georgia that I graduated from 27 years ago, has not changed. It has not changed for the alumni that attended 50 years ago, nor has it changed for those who graduated 5 years ago. There is something special about the University of North Georgia. It is a family. And so, graduates, it's my pleasure once again to welcome you to that family. Congratulations.
Thank you, Wendy. One of the many things that makes the University of North Georgia such a special place is our designation as one of only 6 senior military colleges in the United States. I would now like to call forward Colonel Brent Cummings to conduct the commissioning ceremony for our cadets who are commissioning as second lieutenants. These graduates were recognized individually in ceremonies with their families and friends. Colonel Cummings.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure and honor to preside over this portion of this ceremony. Since 1873, this great institution has provided leaders for the United States Army. And today, that tradition continues. I'm also proud to announce, under Dr. Jacobs' leadership, the administration and faculty and staff of this university, this commissioning class begins what will be the largest commissioning class ever in the University of North Georgia, and marking this university as one of the top 3 commissioning sources in the entire nation. Would the commissionees please stand? Commissionees, remove your caps and gowns. While the commissionees prepare themselves to take the oath of office, I would like to first say thank you to all of the faculty for the education that you have provided to these young men and women. They will soon take the knowledge learned from you here at this great school around the world with them to lead our soldiers. Our Army is grateful to you, and our nation is grateful to you. Commissionees, this oath that I am about to minister to you is unique and it is sacred. It is unique because, unlike other armies, it is not given to a man or a woman, some king or queen, or any type of sovereign. It is not given to an ideology or any type of political party. This oath that you will take is given to a piece of paper on which is written the Constitution of the United States. This makes it unique. It is sacred because, when necessary, you will be called to defend it along with your soldiers and potentially with your life. This now becomes your duty. I would like to ask any active duty members, retired service members, law enforcement officials, and first responders to please stand with me as I administer this oath to this next generation of warriors and leaders. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, and as a senior federal officer on this university, I pledge to you that these commissionees are now prepared to follow in your footsteps in defense of freedom. Commissionees, raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your full names. Having been appointed officer in the United States Army in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I shall support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I shall bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully execute the duties of the office in which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, the defenders of freedom.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Cummings. As we conclude today's ceremony, I want to especially thank all of the staff involved with the planning and execution of the ceremony and for making it such a special occasion. Miss Mackenzie Spivey will come forward to lead us in the University of North Georgia alma mater, which can be found near the back of your program. Following the alma mater, please remain in place for the recessional as the faculty and graduates exit the gymnasium. Thank you, and please stand.